Today we're going to be doing a mod that's going to allow you to open up the FJ Cruiser's rear window from the inside. Now I know I previously made a video about all the FJ Cruiser mods that I've done to the truck, and I stated that I was pretty much done with all my mods, but this is something that I came across that was just too good to pass up, mainly because of its simplicity and its usefulness. And all it requires is an on-off-on momentary switch, some electrical wire, some quick connectors for the electrical wires, and a soldering kit. Now if you don't have a soldering kit, or if you've never soldered anything before, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to tap into the wiring that's going to allow this mod to work. I'm going to be using T-taps. It's just a quick and easy way for you to kind of tap into a wire without cutting anything. If you're not familiar with a quick connector, this is essentially what it looks like. But what a quick connect is meant to do is that it's meant to connect quickly to a terminal, and it just sort of snaps into place. So quick connect, quick disconnect. All right, so you'll need at least 3 of these quick connects. I'll show you another one. And in this case, you could easily strip your wire, slide it into the metal cylinder to make your connection, and then simply crimp your connection here. However, if you have the ability to solder, I would always recommend soldering a metal to metal contact. Now this is a momentary switch, and what that means is that whenever you press the button, it returns back to 0. You'll need one that's specifically an on-off-on momentary switch in order for this mod to work. Now as far as soldering goes, there's an easier way to tap into a wire, and that's by using something called T-taps. And these are self-stripping connectors. Let me just give you a quick idea of what these look like and how they work. So there's 2 parts to these things, and what this does is this allows you to tap into the wire. You see that metal piece there? You essentially put a wire into this little track here, you snap it shut, and then this metal basically strips the insulation, and then it makes contact with the metal wire inside. So let's just go ahead and do that here. So I generally find it helpful to use a pair of pliers in order to squeeze that connection shut. So now we've got the wire inside. I'm going to take some pliers and squeeze it shut. So I'm just going to open this just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's happening here. This piece of metal has stripped the insulation, and now it's making contact with the copper wire. All right, so I'm going to close that. Now we have this other end here, in which this piece will now be able to slide in. Right? But before we do that, we would insert our secondary wire here that will allow us then to tap into this line. So let me pull this apart and give you an idea of what that looks like. Our black wire is going to tap into this red wire here. So what we can do is we can strip the insulation off of this wire. And now I would recommend soldering if you have the ability to do so, but you can stick this in here and then solder this connection here so as to have a more secure connection. But if you didn't have a soldering iron, you could theoretically just crimp this. So I'm going to put this back into place. Stick your exposed wire into here and then crimp the connection shut. So now that you have this wire connected, all you got to do to tap into this red wire is to connect this metal terminal into this opening here. So now you have a T, which explains the name T-tap. So now you have a quick and easy way to tap into a line without having to splice any wires. So the first thing I got to do is I got to remove the rear door trim panel here. And the first thing you got to do is you got to open up the window, and there are a couple of different bolts to undo. There's one in here, and then the same thing on the other side. gotta lift it up and out. Alright, so the clips are off. So here is just an overall look at the entire back of the panel with all the clips. So you can see all of these things had to be popped off before I removed the door trim piece. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here. I'm going to cut this to give myself enough room to work with. So it looks like I have enough room to splice into these wires, so I'm going to do one here for the green and just kind of clamp it down. So you can see that I've already inserted my line into one of these clamps over here, and then this wire is going to run into the switch. So I'm just going to finish up the other two connections, and then I'll give you a look at what that looks like. Okay, so using these T-taps, you can see that I've tapped into the red wire, the green wire, and the black wire, respectively. So the black one is my ground. This green wire controls the door locks. The red one controls the window locks. And now I'm just going to connect it into this female end here. So in theory, this is essentially like splicing into the wire without really, cutting open any wires, instead of you're using the T-taps. Alright, so now here you can see that I've got all of my 3 clamps here, and then I've got all of these 3 terminals inserted into the clamps. I've got a little hole here running through the plastic covering here, and then these 3 ends I'm going to connect to my switch. Each one of these lines is being fed to a terminal in the switch, and let's just see what happens here. So if I rock this one forward, I get the, I believe that's the unlock, and if I hold it, then the window latch goes up. So actually this is lock, and then the other one would be to unlock. So there you go. So now all I got to do is put the switch into the little hole. I've opted to put the switch right here, so I'm gonna measure and drill a hole, and the switch is gonna sit right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill that hole. That's it. Now I'm going to feed the wires for the switch through the hole. So here's my button. I opted to hide it over here on the side. One thing I will note is that I did flip-flop these two trim pieces so that the switch would be able to fit. For example, this piece used to be over here, and this piece used to be over here, and you can see that there's a little bit of an overlap on the switch. So I just swapped them and they fit perfectly as well. So just keep in mind, if you're going to drill a hole into this spot, you may have a little bit of overlap. So basically what the switch is doing is it's mimicking what the key is doing. So in this case, this would be like turning the key to the right, which locks the door, and if you hold it, the window unlatches. If you rock it the other way, this will be like turning the key to your left, which unlocks the door. One thing I will say about this locking and unlocking is that some people on the FJ forums have mentioned that locking and unlocking, either using the switch or the key, will unlock and lock all of the doors on the FJ. I've found this not to be the case with my FJ. I have a 2012, and apparently the ones that are reporting that they have the ability to open up and lock all doors are the earlier model FJ. So that's something new that I learned. So yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below what your FJ does when you turn the key, whether or not that locks and unlocks all the doors or just the one in the back here. Alright you guys, that's it for this mod, and it really is quite a simple mod to do when you think about it. In my opinion, this is something that Toyota should have provided on the FJ from the factory, and this is one of those OEM type of mods that I just couldn't pass up. So hope you guys found that enjoyable and informative. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.